Hey guys, and welcome back to the ASX Investor channel, and welcome to another ASX CEO interview. This is an interview that many of you have been requesting for a long time, and we're very excited to be welcoming back to the channel the CEO and Managing Director of Sayona Mining, Brett Lynch. We last spoke to him a few months ago. There's a lot of exciting works going on in the pipeline. It's been a truly transformative period for ASX SYA since then. Brett, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here, mate.
Hey, great to be back. Thanks very much for the invite. Happy to chat.
There was so many different places where we could have started this discussion. There's been so much different news flow and announcements, but I actually wanted to start with a quote that you yourself said in our last interview. It was a simple one. You said, happy shareholders equals happy CEO. Mate, it's fair to say that the shareholders have been pretty happy over this past period. Just some reflections from how you're going and everything that's happened over the past few months.
Yeah, well, look, I'm still smiling, and I hope all our shareholders are too. Certainly, the signals are they are, because I think we did our last chat. We had something like 6,000 shareholders. Today we've got 24,000 shareholders. So yeah, there must be something we're all happy about, and certainly this year has been a phenomenal run for Sayona. And I think we're fortunate because the lithium, I think confidence, well, the confidence in lithium, the commitment to changes to drive in, the climate change solutions led by, a conversion to electric vehicles has really given us a tailwind to push us along probably faster and further than we thought at the start of the year. But that's just been great. I think being, a relatively smaller company at the start of this year allowed us to move quickly and take advantages that perhaps would come and have gone, and if you were too big, too slow, you wouldn't have grabbed them. And they're all consistent with our strategy, so I think we've made the right decisions, and I think that'll they'll pay back and keep our shareholders happy when we have this chat same time next year. So yeah, things have been good this year.
There's plenty of tailwinds behind the sector, of course, but you haven't been resting on your laurels. As you've said, you've been expanding rapidly to add to the flagship Ortier project. You've now expanded. Of course, you have Tanzan, but you've got NAL, Moblans now coming in as well. Can you just talk about the current state of play of where Sayona Mining's sitting and how the projects have all developed out?
Look, we're building with the end in mind. We know we've got, and the North American market will demand, right, a much larger resource base than what we had and even got today. And that's why we've acquired NAL, and we've doubled down and acquired Moblan most recently. And that's all about building us so as we can be a leading, and we are now have the largest footprint in terms of lithium resource base in all of North America. And so we're going to develop that continuously, because there's still a lot more growth that we can see out there in the future. And we'll need to be capable to supply the Fords, the GMs, the Chryslers, and the Teslas. All of them now have come to the forefront in 2021 with their demands. So that's certainly the first strategic plank that we're building on. The second really is in terms of production, and we acquired NAL for a lot of reasons we talked last time. But in the current sort of context, it's about its speed, its ability to accelerate us. I mean, turbocharge us to being able to produce a quality product for the North American market that is now screaming out for it. And so we've got a team now at NAL of engineers who are all working vigorously to recommission that plant, to enhance it and improve it, such that by the start of 2023, we will be the first and the only producing spodumene player in North America, and producing over 200,000 tonnes a year.
And I just wanted to spend some time as well reflecting on the location. So you're in Quebec. It's one of the most number one strategic priorities for the actual Quebec government to really help to facilitate this green transition. You're of course located in close proximity to the North American supply chains as well. It's a great source of green electricity and energy to help to fuel this development. We'd just love to hear your reflections on why you think this is so important and the opportunities that Quebec provides for your hub.
Yeah, well, look, I think you just answered it really well. you've got the geopolitical security, which is really important if you're going to build, the new energy basis for North America on something that is very stable, very secure, and you've got that there. The second is that you have the government that is so proactive. Way before, COP26, the Quebec government has been promoting and developing its position and its industry in terms of being ahead of the crowd in terms of electric or battery production, utilising its unique resource base in North America. I mean, it just doesn't have lithium. It has most, if not all, of the component of the raw materials in terms of battery materials that are needed, and so that's great. We're invested, in Moblan with the investment arm of the Quebec government, and we continue to work well and be supported and support them because we can see how it is a unique competitive advantage for both Quebec but also for Sayona to be building this base. And then I think the last point that you touched on was it's so efficient, both in terms of cost and in carbon footprint or environmental impact. One, because it is uniquely so close located to the major car manufacturing centres in the US, as well as literally just a stone's throw from NAL is the Ontario car market. I mean, it is a very significant production facility. And so that leads to good, more efficient dollars per tonne delivered of battery material to the end users. And probably even more important to that, though, is the use of hydroelectricity in Quebec, which again, it's in a unique place where, all the energy basically that we're needing to power these mines and these production facilities, chemical plants, we actually already a head start. We can do that with renewable, clean, green energy that Hydro-Quebec has invested in over the last 20 years, and frankly, is ahead of its time in being able to be there, and frankly, well before COP26 and some of the issues that we're struggling with in other parts of the world. So yeah, we're all in on Quebec. We think it's a great place to be, great place to live, great place to do business, and that I think is not changing for us.
And just adding to the stable that you've been developing, of course, last time we discussed NAL and the transformative nature that the NAL acquisition could have, but now we've got Moblan as well, which is joining the Sayona Mining stable. Can you speak about the strategic rationale behind that and what that will help to unlock as well?
We're very interested in Moblan. We actually had quite a history with Moblan. We originally went to acquire Moblan more than 5 years ago when Sayona went to Quebec. We got outbid. We didn't have enough money to win it then. And we went and acquired the Ortier project in the Abitibi province, 600 kilometres to the south. And, as time sort of moves on, and we then expanded to Ortier with Tanzim and then created the hub with NAL. That model we feel very comfortable with. We think it solves some of the restrictions that some of the smaller deposits in Quebec have in getting economies of scale. And we then are thinking that we'd like to do that, again. When Moblan came on the market, and we did have enough money to buy it this time, we did. We weren't shy about moving into that space, even though it wasn't something we were contemplating at the start of 2021. But, these opportunities come and they go, and we decided we're going to take it. And for that, it gives us the opportunity potentially to build another hub, because that northern part of Quebec, is well endowed with very high quality lithium prospects. And so we'll be doing further exploration and seeing how we can expand that project, because what over and above in terms of scale it does for us, it also gives us flexibility from a cost and a reliability supply and a quality perspective. The Moblan deposit, is truly a world-class asset. It has high-grade spodumene, very low stripping ratios. There's no better in those two critical elements to the quality of the deposit in North America. And so that gave us additional flexibility and capacity capability to meet these ever-increasing demands of the market, which won't be just in volume. They'll also be in terms of product performance, which lithium grade will have a lot to do with. They'll be about cost, which, Moblan has a 2.9 to 1 stripping ratio. It doesn't get much lower than that. So all of those things, I think, tend to build up and really make a lot more resilient Sayona's position, aspiring to be the leading supplier in North America.
Of course, there's been a couple of big acquisitions, but I'd love to just get a bit of an update as well on some of the other potential activities. Has there been any further discussions on exploration in WA or potentially considerations about downstream as well in moving forward in Canada?
Yeah, so let's while we're on Canada, so NAL we plan to have in production in 2023, and that's the major focus for us as we speak today in Canada. In addition to that, though, we were, as part of the NAL acquisition, we did acquire the base of a carbonate plant there, and we will be, evaluating early stages on the opportunities and the benefits of commissioning and constructing a carbonate plant there. So that's going to be a very exciting project, and that will move us into a whole new sphere. The other exercises we'll be undertaking will be expansion of the Moblan deposit. As I said to you before, it is well understood, but there is potential to further expand, and not insignificantly, the resource base at Moblan. So we're committed already to undertaking further drilling to expand that resource base, which will also allow us to revise the DFS that was initially done on Moblan, because I'm looking to make that bigger and better. I think there is a potential for it to become a world-scale production facility in its own right. So that will keep us, I think, reasonably busy into 2022. And then in Australia, we are preparing the basis of exploration programs, both in gold. We have significant claims in the Pilbara area, all encircling Hemi de Grey's phenomenal deposit that it's unfolding at the moment. So that work is just going through the permits to get the drilling program agreed and then executed. And in addition to that, in 2021, we also agreed with Altura for as an earn-in arrangement for them to develop the exploration for Malina project that we've got in Australia. So they've most recently now published that that program will commence in H1 2022. So yeah, there'll be activity on a fair few fronts for Sayona in 2022, and we're looking forward to seeing the results of those programs.
There is plenty of exciting times happening. There's plenty to keep a watch out for. Did you have any final reflections for those who have been following the ASX SYA story? As we mentioned at the top of the video, there's been a bunch of happy shareholders, but anything you wanted to share with them as you continue taking those little steps, but quickly moving forward, as you always speak about?
I think really it's to thank a lot of our shareholders. We're full of passion and conviction, but we've really been, I think, humbled by the support we've got. 24,000 shareholders today, who've all, a lot of that is just retail, who have put their savings in behind us, and hopefully in this year we've earned their trust. And on that, I hope that together next year, will be an even bigger and better year. We did achieve a lot in 2021, but it's only the start. We now have, and I think everyone could see, a base, an asset base. I mean, real assets. I mean, bricks, mortar, mines, resource, reserves, all on a scale that just means, there's nothing limiting us like there was when we were at the start of 21, a $10 million, junior explorer. There is so much more potential, and we'll continue to do in the same approach as we did in 2021. Little steps quickly. We're not there to fall over. We'll be prudent on how we move forward, but we'll move swiftly because I think this is what this market is demanding, and frankly, the bigger picture, which is the solutions to climate change, everyone's requiring companies like Sayona to be able to do that. It's just not governments we're going to depend on. It will be about private industry who can responsibly help provide these solutions and get the electric vehicle rubber on the road. That's what we'll be doing.
That is the Sayona Mining story. It's ASX SYA. We're actually very grateful to be joined by Brett coming up again in the next couple of weeks. We'll be discussing a more broader macroeconomic discussion about the lithium space and the North American supply chain. So if you haven't yet, make sure you've subscribed, turn your bell notifications on so you won't miss our follow-up discussion. If you did enjoy this interview, make sure you hit the like button. Feel free to share it out. Brett, we're absolutely grateful to be having you join us again on the channel. It was an absolute pleasure, and congratulations on a truly transformative past period for Sayona Mining.
Oh, thanks very much, and always a pleasure to be on. Look forward to our next catch up.